Okay, shattered faith. This is more the art therapy. That's a guardian angel. You know, it used to be such a safe and sweet thing.
You're an atheist. Give me a fucking break, Michael. All right, you know what? We didn't start going to church every week. I've had this.
I don't believe in God.
Bullshit, you got yourself confirmed, and you said to the bishop.
Yeah, a lot can happen. You can think.
Well, I can happen. All of a sudden, you can just quit believing in God.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there is no God.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, you want to know there's no God? Then you're going to get absolutely nothing. Nothing for Christmas, because that's what Christmas is about, is Jesus Christ.
Okay.
No, it's not okay, Michael. It is not okay.
One of the things, and this is moving on to some of the recovery, one of the things that people have to do is reconstruct, because basically what happens is that your whole reality is ripped out from under you. That's why it's not like any of the other diagnoses that psychology has. This is bigger, and it's not like just not believing in Santa Claus or having your library card expire. You don't just grow up and grow out of it, and because I think a lot of people who do not understand and have not been there think that, you know, it's just sort of immature, you know, thinking all these fairy tales like the Garden of Eden and talking snake, and, you know, you get over it. But no, it's not like that. This is like your whole world. This is your whole sense of reality, and it's destroyed. You're starting from ground zero, starting over with who you are, what the world is, who other people are, what life is all about, etc., etc. You're starting all over again. The other day I was online with my group, and I was actually needing a little reassurance myself, and I was asking them, you know, what they thought of this work and whether they thought it was important, and they said a few really nice things, and then later I got an email from somebody who hadn't spoken up, and she said, Marlene, we're like, you know, it's like we've all just been born. We're like leaving our religion is like being born. We're like a bunch of little children in the world, knocking around in the world without parents. And that's what a lot of people feel like. They're starting over in such a way that there is a lot of work to do. There's a lot of healing to do. So you have a handout there that talks about some of the steps, and I don't have time to go into any of that. Let me just finish up by telling you, that's my daughter. She's a dancer. And that's what I encourage people to think. Believe in life before death. But I want to say just a few more things, if I can indulge your time for a couple more minutes. I know that we're at the end of the hour. We have, let me just say, RTS, religious trauma syndrome. This is a debut presentation. You're the first people to receive this official announcement of what this is. I'm going to present this as a professional thing to the mental health community in the psychology literature, because I want it to be taken seriously. And they want you to have, you know, a clear list. Okay, what are the symptoms? Okay, fine, I've got a list. Cognitive: confusion, poor critical thinking ability, negative beliefs about self-efficacy and self-worth, black and white thinking, perfectionism, difficulty with decision making. If anybody wants to say yeah, you know, amen. Okay. Emotional: depression, anxiety, anger, grief, loneliness, difficulty with pleasure, loss of meaning. Social: loss of social network, family rupture, social awkwardness, sexual difficulty, behind schedule on developmental tasks. Cultural. This one's not usually on the list. Unfamiliarity with the secular world, fish out of water feelings, difficulty belonging, information gaps, e.g. evolution, modern art, music, etc. Anyway, that's work in progress. Causes, okay, here's etiology. Authoritarianism coupled with toxic theology from the church, school, and home, which results in suppressing normal child development, cognitive, social, emotional, moral stages arrested, damage to normal thinking and feeling abilities, information limited and controlled, dysfunctional beliefs taught, independent thinking condemned, feelings condemned. External locus of control. Some of this is psychobabble. I don't know if some of you know what these things are. External locus of control is when you think that you don't have much control of what happens outside of you. Very bad for your health. Knowledge is revealed, not discovered. Hierarchy of authority enforced. Self not a reliable or good source. Makes you feel very helpless. Learned helplessness, of course, leads directly to depression. Okay. Physical and sexual abuse, patriarchal power, unhealthy sexual views, punishment for discipline. What? Well, one of the things that has amazed me is that, my book has been out for about 17 years. Where are all the other therapy books? When people started writing about codependency, suddenly there were a million of them. People started writing about eating disorders, and there were a ton of them. You name it. And then, everybody jumps on the bandwagon, all the therapists have something to say. How come nobody has anything to say about this? And I think that they're afraid. Well, I had somebody tell me, do not call yourself an atheist, you're going to lose your practice. I haven't lost my practice. And it's not just, I don't just work with this either. I have, most of my practice is not about this, but this is not a problem. Anyway, okay, I have just a little bit and I'm done. What's the problem? We have in our society an assumption that religion is for the most part benign or good for you. Therapists, like others, expect that if you stop believing, you just quit going to church, putting it in the same category as not believing in Santa Claus. In the United States, we also treasure our Bill of Rights, our freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and freedom of religion. This makes it extremely difficult to address a debilitating order like RTS without threatening the majority of Americans. Raising questions about toxic beliefs and abusive practices in religion seems to be violating a taboo. No one wants to be pointing fingers for fear of tampering with our precious freedoms. For therapists who don't get it, parents who merely force church attendance aren't exactly axe murderers. But this is the problem. The sanitization of religion makes it all the more insidious when it is toxic. Small children are biologically dependent on their adult caretakers. This continues, religious teachings take hold easily in their underdeveloped brains while the adults can conveniently keep control. This continues generation after generation as the religious meme complex reproduces itself, and masses of believers learn to value self-loathing and fear apocalypse. And now we have the Tea Partiers. And I think a lot of them are infected. And so, like I said, this goes way beyond the individual. This is going to affect our whole nation and possibly the planet if we don't label this and start treating it. Thank you very much.